Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dr. Quack podcast. Today, I've got a little bit of a fun surprise for you. This is called the mail call. I've actually had people writing in, and I have asked some people to come up with some questions as well. I was like, what do you want to know from me? What do you want me to answer? So, I got a lot of questions here, and I'm going to get started real quick. So, here we go. I'm going to try to finish this up and see how many I can get in here. First question is, where are you going to go when this is over for vacation? And I mean, as we have right now, we're planning on going down to Virginia, but we'll see what happens here. I mean, there's a lot of places I'd love to go. I've been all over the world, but that's going to be the current place I think that I would like to go. So this is another question that was written in here. Should Easter be rescheduled? I mean, there's a lot of controversy with that as well, talking about the disease, nobody wanting to get in social gatherings and everything. No, I don't think it should be rescheduled. I mean, why do we celebrate Easter? Easter is the celebration of the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for some of us, Me, yes. But, I mean, that's the day. So, yeah, we shouldn't reschedule it. Here you go. This is another one written in. This one cracked me up. Do straight guys watch Tiger King? I'm laughing way too hard at this. I have not seen Tiger King. I've seen all the memes on Facebook, because what else do you got to do today? But yeah, I guess some people do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they are straight. Maybe they're not straight. However that rolls is fine with me. So I'm going to go with that count. I mean, if you want to watch it, by all means. Damn, Carol Baskin's over there. Yeah, I mean, God, all the memes, man. I'm telling you, this thing is taken over 2020. But let's see. Here we go. So out of all the companies you have worked for, which one of them did you enjoy working for the most? And that's a tough question. It really is. I mean, probably the AWA Tennessee would be definitely one of the ones I would tell you. Coming back, several times in there. That was where my career started. So many guys I got to wrestle in that era. Between that and probably Stranglehold Wrestling, those two would probably be my favorite. They're both, high quality promotions. I always got to meet a lot of great people and work with Eric Nelson down there in Stranglehold Championship Wrestling. Met a lot of great guys. Had a lot of fun, But on the other half of this question, it also asks, where was your least favorite place to work? Oh, God, I love that question. Because the least favorite place, I mean, it's hard. But honestly, the least favorite place probably for me to work, was probably at World League Wrestling. Simply on the fact that, it was prejudice. It was simply prejudice because I told them who my trainer was. And they looked at me like I had no skill, no talent, no nothing, like I knew nothing of the business. So, I mean, I entered their battle royal, and it was funny because I had a bunch of guys from the Midwest, And if you know anything about independent wrestling, you know that the strong points are the South and the East. The West has got some, but the Midwest, I mean, they're probably down the bottom rung there for a lot of cases. Some of them are good, but there's not enough of them, unlike the rest of the country. But these guys thought they were all badass throwing their chops, and trust me, it wasn't nothing. Just my opinion here, folks. Sorry if you're watching this, you probably are seeing this and going, I'm an ass for saying that, but I did. But anyways, let's see. What other questions here? What's your take on 5G? Talking about the 5G internet network here. Allegedly, this has been linked to the coronavirus. They have had some theories on this, that this may actually be killing people. It's been killing bees, they say. It may give you the same symptoms as the coronavirus. Nobody knows for sure. Do we really need a faster internet? I mean, how fast do you need it? Do you need it like that? No. God. People have no patience nowadays. 4G is fine. That's just my personal opinion. Let's see. What other questions we got here? What can you do to prevent boredom during the shutdown? So to prevent boredom during the shutdown, and this is funny because look, what am I doing right now? This exactly. doing a podcast. That's always a great thing to prevent boredom. I mean, it's always good to go out and take a walk and, go hiking. And if you can, in some states, go fishing. Come up with creative ways. It's hard. I mean, it's different if you're a single person versus if you're, have a family of five. That can be different. So there's different things to do. You always can play video games and a bunch of stuff. But if you got that family, generally you're more predisposed with them more than anybody else. That's what makes it really wild. Because you got to make sure that they're okay. Because if they're bored, oh my God, the whole explosion there. Raising kids during the coronavirus shutdown. Ah! That's how I felt. So there you go. Now moving on down the line here. Let's see. Who was your favorite opponent in the ring? Oh, God, And I got to take on some good people. Let me tell you, I loved working some good people in this ring. Because, they were just so talented. There's so many guys. But probably my favorite opponent would probably be Big Papa. Big Papa from Bad Company Inc., in the AWA Tennessee days, we fought each other over every belt. We fought each other over the Mid-South title. He cost me my belt. We fought each other over the tag titles. We fought each other over the Cruiserweight title. It was always me and him and some other people always involved, but it was always me and him. And I'll tell you, I loved working him. I would work him again. So if anybody wants to sign that up, you let me know. Chris, I know you're watching. You let me know when. All right. With the current situation of the coronavirus, what are your thoughts about shutting down, visitations for nursing homes and hospitals? That one really sucks. It does. One of my relatives is in a nursing home, and I wish I could go see her. She's, trapped in isolation pretty much because of this thing. They're all on lockdown, shut down. It's a horrible feeling. I'm just thankful that she's able to answer the phone. Some places they're not able to answer the phone. I wish we could come up with more constructive ways to be able to visit people, because God knows how long this is going to last. That's just, it's crazy to see what happens. With how long this is going to last and how long we're going to have to deal with this. I hope it ain't forever. I hope it does die down here soon, as a lot of people do. That's just crazy. Just trying to get up to be able to see people now. Now people are locked in. But here we go, moving on. How do you feel about Gronk being in the WWE? Yeah! Dude, I love it. Look, I got one of my favorite players in my favorite sport in the world of professional wrestling. This is awesome. He captured the 24/7 title. Granted, nobody's really, shocked over that. They kind of figured that when they were doing that during WrestleMania. As soon as you saw R-Truth on a TV screen, you're like, yep, Gronk's going to eventually get the title. I can't believe he still has it, though. That cracks me up. He'll be back, I'm sure. We'll get to see him on there. He signed his contract. I'm actually very happy for him. I can't wait for him to, get on a full-time schedule to work some of the greats that are currently there. That I can't wait for. So my next question, here you go. Are you going back to your current job, or are you looking for another job? My personal situation, I started a job just about the time the coronavirus started. Just about the time it started. And honestly, I love the place. The place is a great place to work. I'm probably going to stay with them. That's what my plan is. Whenever they start back open, I'll go back to work. So here's another fun one. Boobs or butts? Which one do I like better? Whew, I always like boobs, don't get me wrong. But I'm a butt man. I can't help it, You gotta love them butts. Don't do no side bends or sit-ups, man, That's how I feel about that. Favorite beer? Oh, geez. My favorite beer is Heineken. I love Heineken. Definitely one of my, favorites to drink. Budweiser I'm okay with. I've really been drinking more Blue Moon nowadays. I like that too. Whenever I get my hands on that. I don't drink a lot like I used to back in the days when I was younger. I used to party a lot and go have fun and probably drink till almost passing out sometimes. Playing competitive drinking games because that's one of my favorite things to do back then. But yeah, family man, I drink maybe a beer or two. I sit down and relax. Better off with me. But yeah, Heineken definitely be top choice. Here you go. Of course, somebody had to write this. This came out, right? Will you become a Bucks fan now that Tom Brady is on their team? I wish Tom Brady the best of luck. I really do. This season's going to be crazy. Just dealing with all the new. Yeah, I can't talk a little bit, but it's all right. The new teams. Out there. You're not able to go to training camp. You're not able to draft correctly. I wish them the best of luck. I am still a Patriots fan, as I always am. So the next question here. How has this affected your family? Talking about the coronavirus. It's affected us a lot. A lot of people, like everybody knows, you're not allowed to really leave the house. You're not allowed to really do anything. You're basically sitting at home waiting for the call, waiting for it to all end. But will it end? That's what we're waiting on to see. It's different when you have kids because they're doing homework at home and schoolwork at home. Some of them it's easy. The younger ones, they only got to do it for about 30 minutes. The, high schoolers have to do it for a couple hours. What do you do to entertain the time? Sometimes you go outside, you have recess. You try to set a schedule and a curriculum, which is hard. Dude, teachers, we miss you. Trust me, as parents, we miss you. Our kids miss you. We want you back. We want to be back. We want them back. I don't mind, helping my kids out, though. It's a great thing. Because, you see what they know. And you see how much they've learned. And you try to teach them a little bit, too. So here we go. Number 16 on this. Oh, my God. I got a few more questions here. Blondes, brunettes, or redheads? God, that's a tough pick, Some men like blondes, and some like brunettes, some like redheads. Me, I've always been a redhead guy. Can I honestly tell you that? I've always been a redhead guy. Ever since I was young. For some reason, it's the fiery redhead that always goes, gets me there. But, the blonde as well. Blonde looks good on certain people. Redhead looks good on certain people. Brunette, same way. But if I had to go number one, I'd go redhead there. That'd be my vote. Should Tua be a top 10 pick? Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, from Alabama. I don't even know if I pronounced his last name right, but I think I'm close. But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I do think he should be a top 10 pick. And I do honestly think he should be a top 5 pick. Yes, I know we're not able to see too much video on him outside of game film. They're not able to do their pro days. Yes, he has the hip issue, where he had that surgery. He had the knees, the ankle, and everything else. I would still take him as a player. The guy's definitely got leadership material written all over him. Colin Cowherd decided to say that he compared him a lot to Drew Brees. I'm going to almost agree with that statement. The guy looks like a born leader. I think he's going to be fine. I think whoever gets him has definitely got a high-quality quarterback. So let's see here. A couple more down the road. My favorite wrestler that I got to meet. To me, my favorite person I ever got to meet was Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas was one of the funniest people, and nicest people I've ever met in my life. We just sat there and we, had a great conversation. I did a U-shoot with him. Check it out in the archives. It's there. Part 1 and a part 2. But, just outside of it, probably one of the nicest people that I've ever met. My family loved him. My friends loved him. Everybody that came down and met him, when I was down there, loved him. He's a great guy. Definitely somebody that if you wanted to learn from in the wrestling business, it would be him. That would be my opinion. Here we go. How is your life without sports? How is your life without sports? Dude, it's funny. I'm just laughing. If y'all can see behind the camera. Sorry. Come here. Come here. Come on. Hold on. There you go. Yeah. My dog out here, she's, it's different times for her. The temperature, the air gets to her. But she's loving life. So here we go. I got two more questions here. How is your life without sports? And I got to tell you, for me, it doesn't bother me that bad because really the only two sports I like is pro wrestling, which is still on, and the NFL, which will be coming on later this, fall, basically. And the draft's going to happen. But everybody out there, I know, they want to see NASCAR. They want to see Major League Baseball supposed to be starting, so that's hurting a lot of people. The NBA, all that without sports is hurting people bad. For me, it's not hurting me too much, but it will be soon if this continues. You can believe that. And the final question I got is, when do you think we'll go back to normal? Honestly, I don't know. Everybody's got a different prediction. It could last a couple weeks, could last a couple more months. This could be seasonal, or it could if it gets too hot, it dies, but it comes back in the fall, and that would be crucial. Nobody knows really for sure. If I had to make a guess, I'm figuring mid-May, early June is when this thing will probably end. But like I said, I don't know. It's definitely, crucial times, to say the least. People are right now out of jobs and are filing for unemployment, waiting for money to come in and waiting on a stimulus check and everything else just to survive. How much longer are we going to have to survive? God knows. But I hope everybody can keep surviving. Don't give up. We all struggle. Just hope everybody, can do better, can feel better about themselves. Hopefully this thing will end soon. I know this is driving people nuts that, deal with depression and PTSD and anxiety. I'm sure all that is probably kicking into high gear because I know for experience, definitely it's hitting me. But, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Thank everybody who wrote in questions. I'd like to thank my buddy Sam for coming out there with some, and Amanda and Gerald. I'd like to thank y'all for doing that, and everybody else that came out there and wrote for me as well. Appreciate the questions. I just love entertaining people. That's why I do what I do. This is more fun to me than, seriousness. So thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I'm out.